Alrighty, here we goes. Feeling like poop. Took a nice 22-hour loss. I don't feel like making a video, um, but it's normal. Even though when I take a big loss, I I don't feel like recapping, but I always do every single time. Uh, but yeah, I guess today we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the dark side, the evil side of trading. It's not the evil side, it's the normal side. But for me, this is evil because it literally makes me question myself, my trading, and it just brings back bad memories because we all had losses of like negative 20, 30 RR, and I've taken some really good hits. And this month or past few months, it's been a blessing because I've made a bit of money, but um, yeah. So we're gonna talk about this. This should have been a crazy winner. As you guys can see, I started long in here. I think that was, I guess 820, whatever this was. I was long biased, and in here when I came to VWAP, I added. Anyway, so this is probably going to be a long video. The video will be for myself, and psychologically, like psychology is my weakest thing, and my current goal is risk management. I want to do a better job. I've done a decent job in the past month, like I said. It's this month or the past few months probably has been my best month so far in a long period of time in my day trade. Swing trade not so much, but day trade doing really well. And just like a few days ago, I was excited because I was gonna wire out money twice because I did it recently, and like I was very ecstatic, happy. I tried not to be, but like it was after hours, so today I feel like shit, and I'm questioning whether I'll become a trader or how long I'll last, and all crazy kind of shit in my head. It feels horrible. It feels like shit, like completely like shit. But gonna try and push through. It's gonna be a long video, so if it's not your thing, you don't want to learn, you don't want to learn from losses, or you don't want a long video, might not be for you. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to talk about the fundamentals, the thought process, what's going on, uh, why I think this was squeezing, and what the market makers were thinking, what potential possibility there was, all this and that jazz. Just my hypothesis, and then talk about volume flow, losses, feeling like shit, why I didn't stop out, why I froze. All of my losses came from after hours. This year should have been a 20-hour loss. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, amigos. So first thing is first, the fundamentals on this thing. What happened, or why it happened. So they did an offering recently, 2.5 million shares. So this is a name that I was long with my friends from $1.50. Like a chicken, I sold it into like 3.30, but some of the guys held it, I think, into the 13, 14. I think there's a few of us. We basically reverse engineer. So we knew offering was coming, and I think some of the guys caught it short as well as long. So what happened from my perspective? So we're talking about the fundamentals now. This is my perspective, and it may be completely wrong. And I always have a lot to learn. So if I'm completely wrong and you know for sure, I'm more than happy to listen. Yeah. So the float or the outstanding shares is around 2 million. It goes up higher. Um, Long and behold, they do an offering the next day. It goes from $14 to the offering price is $3, 2.5 million shares. And then we see 12 million shares and 35 million. And then we wonder why that is. So my thesis is that you could see Hudson Bay. Hudson Bay were suing NNVC. Why were they suing? Uh, it was because this is shout out to my friend JJ. I did understand a little bit of it, but he's amazing at this, and we talk about it as a group collectively. So uh, Hudson Bay basically participated in their offering a few years ago. I had it highlighted here, somewhere here, and they're basically saying that they weren't allowed to do if they were to do a next fundraising. Part of the deal was that the Hudson Bay would be able to participate automatically in a large part, and the other thing is they wouldn't be allowed to do they wouldn't be allowed to do an offering below what they had participated in, what Hudson Bay had, whatever their overhead level was. And I think it was in February 7. So what they were trying to do is they were trying to cancel this. And as some of you guys know, the way these small caps work is it gets pumped up, the freaking guys preemptively short, um, preemptively short, and then they participate in the offering, and long and behold, it freaking it they accept the being part of the offering, and they make like $10 a share. And I don't want to say too much, but the SEC doesn't really give a shit. I'm sure they know about this stuff, and guess if anybody knows the filings, Savvy Management just filed. They took a share. Ooh, I wonder why that happened. And they participated in the offering, and I'm pretty sure they were the ones that that like were shorting preemptively, and then they participated in the offering, and they're like, okay, just make shitloads of money. So what happened here? Hudson Bay is saying you're not allowed to do that. The offering can get retracted. They're suing them, etc., etc. So if it doesn't go through, so let's think about it logically here. It These guys, they were short ahead. They were short down here, whatever. They squeezed They squeezed the crap out of retail. They dump on them. They're short here because they don't care what their thing is. They know they're gonna get an offering, so they just cover the longs. The retail longs sell, and then they're covering. But if they're not able to, this was my thesis. If they're not able to cover their short position with the offering, they're basically gonna be stuck because this was a 2 million share float. They would be stuck. So and the offering was, I believe, was supposed to close today. So what they did the next day, my thought process is they potentially, because they need volume to get out. It's not just simple as cover whatever shares you shorted. I don't know if there was naked shorts or what. So they had to create some sort of a liquidity volume. So I think they not only did they cover their position, they potentially might have even gone long because these guys they're ruthless, man. They don't care. They're in it just to make money. So they squeeze it. They're potentially long, and they're gonna keep squeezing it. And that's what they did after hours. Uh, so yeah. I think what they were trying to do is they were trying to cover their position, the cover, and then also potentially go long and just squeeze it. They don't care. And I'm sure there's a lot of retail, a lot of fundamental traders and statistical traders that are potentially like, oh, this should have a continuation fade, it's gonna go, or they don't obey their risk and they just let it go, and then they're surprised. They're like, what happens? This is why my motto is always to understand. And I still get my ass kicked, but so try to understand. So I'm sure a lot of fundamental traders got hurt, and a lot of statistical traders got hurt. Um, and yeah. So what happened? Now we could go to step two. I was long. I was long because this was a squeeze, right? This is a squeeze. Comes back, retraces. I get long, and I know, and I'm pretty confident this is gonna break high today. Um, so I was long. I added to a winner. I think I sold and then I added to a winner, and I was waiting. I think I had some orders here, and I should have bought more, but I think I may have tried a few times and I didn't fill somewhere there. And I might have tried somewhere here. I don't know, or here. So long, sell, work with core, and then I sell, and then it comes back south. So here I'm a decent normal size. I should have been more. I gotta work on that. So this video is for me. I also make notes, but I gotta put a lot more size in the dips. What I do now is I try to add to a winner, and I think it feels cool. I don't know. Like I'm honestly questioning everything. Everything I know I'm questioning because this just makes me feel like shit. To have shorted here, to have had the risk of 9 as over under, and I forgot it's after hours. I thought I would just, it was like I was risking. Technically, it was 890s, but I was like, I'll just let it go over under 9. And I am questioning everything I know, but I'm gonna try to stay on topic. So on the dips, I should go heavier size. That's one of the notes that I know because I looked at this. This is one of the mistakes that I do. I'm trying to add to a winner, and the reason why I do that is if I take this trade over 1,000 times, adding to a winner is really beneficial and nice. And I don't in 2 ads I don't just want to go into my crazy size. So I have a normal share size, normal risk, but then I also have an uncomfortable size, which I know that like if I get to there, or it's not a size, it's more like the risk. If I get there, I'll be like, and I want to trade that way, but I want to trade it into tiers. So like long here, I didn't really want to take profits, but I did. And then long here, so this was like not too crazy, but like good normal size. I would say like two x because this was really spready. And then these are small, so I just add along here along the way because my average, as you guys can see, was probably still. I think it's probably somewhere here. Yeah, it was probably like I think 830 something. And I locked in some profits, and I locked in profit here, locked in profit here, and I started adding long, and I was like, I'm just gonna take it off here, and then I added here at the top. Again, one of the mistakes I make is I add. So one of the rules is that I let other people's money confirm that it's working. So I wanted to wait, which is a good thing and a bad thing, I guess. I wanted to wait until it goes above this or gets to this level, and then I start adding, and my risk now would have been around here. That's what I said, but then I got here, it must have been close to my average, like very uncomfortable size. Yeah. I was very uncomfortable size here, and then I added it, and then it gets here, and I'm like, uncomfortable size, trim some, just so I can breathe, and then I sell some here, sell some here. This is in the money because my average, yeah, my it must have been just a little bit in the money. But these are small ads. So I trim it just because I want to be comfortable, and then I wait until it pushes. This is a good ad. This ad here is a good ad. But because I was too much size, like I know by these exits I was too much size, that I had to cut here because I did not want to see a wash of $9. Because if I had washed the $9, I didn't want to take that loss down here. I think my average must have been somewhere here. Yeah, I remember. This was a bit above my average. Or may have, yeah, it may have been like a few cents above my average. So how can I improve here? I guess like always, there's a confirmation level, but then there's also a dip. So one thing I really need to do a better job is just literally buy at the dips. What I try to do, and this is why I feel disgusted. So this here was, I would say, like a 6 or an 8 hour win. Like I am long at, I may have been wrong. I think it's like 8:15 or 8:20. Let's see. Yeah, 8:15, 8:11, 8:15, I think. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. 8:11, 8:15. So 8:11, and then my risk was just 11, 12 cents, and then I had got, technically I had gotten this $10, $9.99. Yeah, 9.99 is what I got. So 10-cent risk, $2 win. Good job. Boohoo. Whatever. And this was a good one. It was like a 6-8 hour. I'm adding to winner. Adding to winner. I get uncomfortable size. I lock it. So I'm just repeating myself. So improvement here is to buy on the dips. I try to wait for the confirmation for it to go above because I don't want to be a sucker. And what I mean by that is as I mentioned, and I try to practice that. I think it's a good habit. Let me know if it's not. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, maybe long. So it's a good habit, but I try not to be the guy that bottom ticks. I hate bottom ticking, and I mean it. This is not for the video. It's just for my growth's sake. So what I do is I purposely wait. Clearly, I know I could have longed here. I know I could have. Just like I freaking longed here. Press the hotkey, I could long. But I wanted to wait until it confirmed. Like I wanted to wait this wash was a trap. So I see it pushes higher, and then I add. But I add to an uncomfortable size, and then it washes south. I take some off. I long again. It goes up, washes out, and I'm like, okay, stop. And I don't mind doing this. It's annoying, but so an improvement is to wait for the dips, add on the dips. This is a good ad. This is a good ad. Yeah, so I cut it here, and then I add here, and then I add here. These two ads are perfect. It's nice. This ad, okay, whatever. And then it goes higher. I sell a little, and then this gets to 10 and it rejects. So this is a 5-minute chart, but it gets to $10 and then it rejects a few times, and then it breaks 10. It breaks 10 with volume 2. And what I do, this is a mistake. So here I'm probably up like 6-8 hour, and this here I am uncomfortable size. Probably, I think I was probably like 8x. I mean, it was greed, but it's not greed. So I fucking am horrible at buying, like adding on breakout or shorting on breakdown. I'm just fucking so bad. But I thought it would squeeze because it rejected here. It was a trap, and it got here. I thought it was a trap. So 8x to probably close to 10x size. Yeah, probably 10x, because this was a really spready and a wide volatile stock. So if this had gone, I literally would have been like 50 R win. Because technically I'm long from 18, and I literally went 5x. Like this here, 5x. And I was thinking I'm being smart, by adding at like 10:02 something, and the guy just hits me, and I'm like, fuck. So my average gets so bad that I have to sell here, which is really good. So if you guys are gonna do this method and you're gonna be stupid like me, it's not stupid to be honest with you. I'm gonna back myself up. I'm not gonna ridicule you myself. Um, yeah, I'm gonna back myself up. I don't think it's stupid. Um, if it had worked, it would have given me a 50 RR win because I'm long from 8, 11, 8 RR win here. This is uncomfortable size. It goes to like, I was actually thinking if it breaks 13 and higher, this would have been my biggest win. Probably like, I wanted to go one of my full account in on this because I thought once it breaks 13 it'd be crazy. So yeah, I sell it. I sell this at break even, believe it or not. Yeah, I think I sell it at break even. I locked some in and I sold this at break even because my average was so bad, and this I 5x my size. I broke even, and then I actually went short. I went short here. Yeah, so some of these were shorts, so I went short. I think full size, and then I started covering at 980s, and yeah, and then I covered a little bit and I longed at here. I longed. So this is all cover, and this is a cover and a long, and I sold it, and this was a good size long. I don't know why. This is the problem that I have, like the last time, where I constantly switch from long to short. The subconscious mind gets an ego that says, you're doing good, switch bias. And I think I may have, I don't know if I longed here or here. I know this is a long for sure. I covered a decent portion here, and I covered the remaining here, and I think I went long. And then I cut it. And then I longed here again. I sold here, and then I also shorted here. So ideally my target was 850s, 851, 852. But this is where the ego and things kicks in when you're correct so many times. So I was long, switched short, and then I tried long in here again. This is what I was talking about, and it's so fucking frustrating. I don't swear, but I'm just like so fucking frustrated. It's a repeated behavior, and I have to give myself some slack. But it's very, very frustrating because I know this has caught me before many times. For you guys, this is the first time that I'm like speaking about my thought process, the the feelings of losses and things like that. But I've seen myself go short, long, short. It works, but the time that it doesn't, it's so fucking frustrating. So this, yeah. So this and this, I guess this here, this size here, like break even the trade. I don't know if it's including this, but after this, I was break even. So basically, I lost all of this. Yeah. After this, I had lost. Yeah, I had lost everything here. And this, even if I didn't 5x and I sold, this would have been a 15R win, which is really nice. So the moral of the story is start buying dips. Here I longed. I gave back everything, and it's fucking frustrating. But I knew a bounce was coming, so I quickly just longed here. I saw stuff on the tape, and for sure I knew this was for me a short play. I was short, risking off of soft stop at 851, and 876. There's a volume profile, and this is one of the other problems that I have. So as a discretionary trader, I didn't have a lot of size for the short, so um, I guess sometimes it matters. So what I do is just let it go over under a little, and sometimes it squeezes, which is horrible. And a lot of times people use hard stops, and I do that when I get uncomfortable size. Then I tend to use hard stops for like 2/3 or 4/3, 3/4, whatever it is. Um, and then I let the other just go over under, and I'll stop out. I don't mind if I take a slippage on that. So as long a decent amount, uh, sold it, went short, went into the money nicely, uh, and then I locked into the money. I think my average here was, this is all selling longs, and I think my average was pretty good. I think it was like 848 something, 848, 847, and then I covered 2/3 here. So this went to 878, something like that. Rejected. I thought it was gonna. I had just set an order at 827 because I thought 825 never filled. It washes, goes, and then what do I do? I short again. This time my risk is, I think I may have shorted what I covered, and I was risking just above that 876. It goes higher, goes off of that 878, 876, 878, and then it shows that it wants to come down, and then I shorted that. I don't mind. And then this is close to a break even just because it was close to the end of the day. I was like, okay, whatever. Oh, this is after hours. Oh shit, it's after hours. My brain, what the hell? Okay. Yeah, this is after hours. Frick. See, I didn't even know, so this is beneficial for me. So at this point here, I had covered 2/3. 2/3 here. 1/3. Okay. Then I put the 1/3 on, risking this. Get there, risking that. So it goes here, comes down. I cover. I cover here because I didn't think it would break because there was a buyer there, as you can see. And then I hit 850 and it goes up. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just trying to reshort 878. I like this because every time I go to 878, there's a seller there because it tried a few times after hours and even during hours. So what do I do? It goes. So I wait until this goes to 880 and then it comes back down and then I short. And then I had a risk of 890 or $9 over under. I'm shorting 878. This is almost like a boredom trade because this shoulda, woulda, coulda. This should have been a 20 to 30 RR win. I don't care. My entries were not bad, but my risk management was good. Like I'm actually proud of myself for like stopping out there, going short. I'm proud of myself. In previous times when I did add to the winner, like I would freeze up like I froze here, and this time I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't give a crap about that. It's always better. Okay, if you guys are still here listening, it's always better to wish you were in a trade than you're in a trade and wish you weren't. So I think Ricky Analog said that. So I cover here. I'm going over under at 899. It pushes to 9 plus. Yeah. So I was risking 890s, or so it goes to 890, and then it washes 890, 891, and then or 9 over under. So I let it go over under, and I'm like, oh, it's 8 9 18. So the problem here is I looked at my P&L. Yeah, and I was like, I don't want that because it was almost like a break-even day. And then it goes higher, and I'm like, I'll wait for a pullback, because it always had a pullback. Long and behold, fucking super squeeze. I just freeze, and I'm like, nope. So okay guys, together we're gonna transition into this dark place. The fucked up place. The horrible place. The place that gives you nightmares. Gives me fucking nightmares. I'm surprised I do this still. It's not often, but it still fucking hurts. So I just freeze, because in the past I've learned the brain always tends to just stop out when it pauses. It just rips. Rips on me. Didn't have a lot of shares, but it was like still whatever shares I was shorting with there. And here I shorted. So, yeah. Fuck. I just want to address. It gives me nightmares, man. Fuck. Not nightmares, but it bugs the shit out of me. So I just. It's horrible, but I freeze up, and I thought about getting more shares. And I remember what Ozark said, and some of you guys, do not to a fucking loser. So you know what? I'm kind of proud of myself for that. It fucking sucks that I froze. So once it gets into there, it's almost, I think of it as like damage control. And I just wait for a pullback. Like, because oftentimes you'll just stop out at the top. So I cover half. It pulls back. I cover half here. 10, 15. I wanted 10, 10, 10, 11, but this I think probably was 10, 11, 10, 12. But there was a soaker there, so I was just like, okay, I'll cover. And then I knew this would potentially bounce up to 11, and then I was hoping it would reject. It would go to 11 and reject. And like I had seen my P&L, and it was fucking horrible. Because overall I was probably up like 1 hour or break even. And I didn't wait. I just shorted at 10.94, thinking 11 over under, which is horrible. Ideally, you want to wait until it gets to 11, see some sellers, or go 11 and wash in that ad. But what happened is I saw a bunch of offers sitting at 11, so I just wanted to front run them. 11, there's 10.98, 10.96, and then 11, and I was just like, you know what, I'll just front run it. I'm in a fucked up situation as it is. So then it goes higher, and I just say, you know what, man, fuck it, cut it. Like always, I cut it. I cut it near the top tick, 10.50s, because I was like, I won't let it go to 10 higher. Because if this had gone to 13, would have been crazy. And then like a monkey, I long. So this is not a bad long. I don't mind it. This is a long because I was thinking as long as 10.50s hold, it's okay. So I wait for the dip. It's good. It goes higher. And then it comes back. I sold 10.62. I think I was long 10.71. I told 10.60. It was very small. And then I longed again, sold. This I was using a higher size to mitigate the loss if it had gone here, which is pretty bad. If it had gone here, I would have made a decent chunk of it back. Or even if I kept it here, this would have been if I didn't stop out here and I covered it here, this would have been like a 6-hour loss. But so this here was like a 12 to 16-hour loss. This was like a 5-hour loss, but I was very heavy because I wanted to make. Okay, so again, this is a long video, so it's gonna be boring as hell, but it's gonna be beneficial. I'll show you guys what I do. So we write down the good. I'm glad I added to winner. Glad I stopped out at break even when uncomfortable size. I actually went a bit below break even, but I had too much size. Bad ads. So we could write that. Improvement. Horrible ads. Don't fucking add on breakout or breakdown. Always. Most of the time doesn't work. Hey, let me know what you guys think. When do you add on a breakout or a breakdown? I know when it consolidates. I should. This is why I was so confident. I was like, these guys, they trapped. They trapped here. They washed. I bet there's a lot of shorts. So if it breaks out again, it was supposed to squeeze. That's why I added 5 times. I didn't just add on the breakout. I let it wash and then I let it come back to like 10:02, 10:03. I added 5 times everything I had. So here I was uncomfortable size, and here I was like super duper 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 uncomfortable size, to the point like 5x whatever I had. So but breakdown breakout always doesn't work. So let me know how you guys add to a breakout. I would love to hear. Okay, so what is something else that I did good? I do this every single trade. I'm glad I had range orders. It removed FOMO a little. Good thought process on deep wash away from rewap, then shorting the pop, and then good usage of volume level. So 878 was always like a very good level. Rest against that. Improvement always more sometimes. The improvement, don't fucking freeze. I'm very mean to myself. Sometimes I use these kind of words, but I shouldn't. Nah, I shouldn't use that either. It's rude. You gotta self-love. This is something I don't have, but don't fucking freeze. Else you'll blow up, and all the old nightmares will come true. You have been doing well with the risk. So this is, I'm just conscious. I want to be positive to myself. Risk management lately. Drastic improvement. But work harder on it. Cut the loss. You can always re-add, man. Always. So here I cut it thinking that, and I was like waiting for a lower high, but it never came. What are some of the other improvements? Always did buy, man. Always did buy. Risking previous dip. And the other thing is buy heavier. Buy heavier on dip support. That's what D-Man says. D-Man says he buys heavy. I try to tier into it. We all have different metrics, but a friend of mine, he was along with me and he does that. For buy a lot dips. Don't be subconsciously worried about tier building. I know it looks cool, but don't do it. This is the negative perks of posting online. So this is the other thing, man. When I post stuff online, I used to post on Twitter, and sometimes what I found is I would do things because I knew I would be watched and monitored. That's why I stopped posting. I just want to do. I just want to become a better trader, and subconsciously it makes you want to post or makes you want to do things in your trading that you shouldn't, because it doesn't look as nice. And whatever that reason may be, insecurity or just being under the limelight. That's why I stopped posting, and that's why I often don't share it. I do this kind of notes every day. That's why I don't share it. It's just notes for myself. Okay. So grade for trading, I would say overall the grade, I would say it's a B plus. I really liked adding to winner and didn't work. Risk management, I did a good job in the morning. Risk management, added to winner was nice. My thought process was correct on the long, what they were doing. And other than, I'll probably give it a D minus. But it's mostly because of after hours freezing. But good job on other times, including when uncomfortable. So the other good thing is I didn't add to a loser. And I totally could have. I totally could have. I could have borrowed more shares here. I thought about it. Could have borrowed more shares and then short. Then my loss would have been twice as much, or even more. So I was like, you know what? Just take the loss. Cut it here, minimize it, and then I shorted here. So that's good. Okay, amigos, long video. Hopefully it was beneficial. If it was helpful, subscribe, share with somebody that it may help. Comment below. Educate me when you guys when do you do a breakdown, or like tag me on or post on my Twitter. I genuinely wanna learn. When do you guys add on a breakdown or breakup? Of course when there's consolidation. But if we freaking look at this, I don't know how to get my thing. If we look at this, I totally 10 was, this is a consolidation. Like this is a freaking trap. It was supposed to squeeze, but I guess there was no buyers or nobody to squeeze. But I don't know. Is this a good breakout ad or not? I'm not sure. Let me know. Subscribe, comment below, and yeah, if you retweet or comment, the next person will be picked from that. If you guys want to jump on voice and talk, I'm always here. Alright, amigos, take care.